And we are live. So, first of all, welcome back to another episode of On the Line with Curse Bank Catfishing. I've got a very special guest with me here today, Miss Jaylnn, who is the current Ohio state record holder for limb lining catfish. Now, if you haven't heard of Miss Jaylnn, she's got probably one of the most unique stories that I've ever encountered when it comes to a state and their state record program. More importantly, she literally did change the game when it came to it. We'll elaborate more on that as we continue. But Jaylnn, go ahead and say hi to everybody.
Hi.
So now you caught this state record. How old were you?
I was 15.
So 15 years old and gets a state record fish.
Yeah.
That's a story all on its own. Now, obviously, you caught it limb lining. So, and just because there's some people out there who are not going to know what that means, in some states, they've never heard of it at all. But elaborate on what limb lining is.
It's the most simple way of fishing. It's you have your line, you have a tree branch hanging off of a tree, you tie your line under the tree with your hook and your bait on it, and you plop it down into the water. It's a limb line.
It's a really in fact, a lot of people, if you aren't aware, it's a very old school way of fishing.
Yes.
And in Ohio and in West Virginia, here's the thing: don't get limb lining confused with jug fishing. Those are two different things.
Yeah.
With the limb line, you have to have it affixed to a tree or some type of stake in the ground, and they have to be checked. I believe it's every 24 hours. Is that right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. And so your limb lining, so explain to me, how long have you been doing the limb lining? Obviously, you do it with your dad.
Yeah, me and my dad have been doing it for probably like 3 or 4, maybe 5 years at the most. We don't get to do it often. We do it when the river floods. It's the only time when we can't go out on the boat or the banks are flooded. So we found a different way to fish. I mean, why not find a different way to fish if you can't be out on the boat? So we found it on YouTube and we tried it and we fell in love with it. So now that's just like our little side quest hobby that me and him do.
And so that's the biggest part too, because you just mentioned it yourself. You can only do this whenever the river is unfishable.
Yeah.
And you're going into what I'm assuming like flooded reservoirs, creeks, and places like that to actually do this.
Yep.
And when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, that's a really smart tactic, because now, do you keep the fish you catch or do you let them all go?
No, we let them go. They go back where they came from.
So now you sit back and think about this from a catfish angler standpoint. Like, what you're doing is almost actually kind of like a scouting mission for someone who would go out there with a rod and reel.
Yep.
So when the river is unfishable, well, if you can get access to these areas via bank or kayak or however you're doing it, you have options. If the river is unfishable, you can go here instead.
Yeah.
All it is, it's another method of fishing, and it's another method of finding fish. In fact, fun fact for you, if you look back, I look back at some of the history books, I think way down south too, where limb lining originated, if I remember correctly. That's what a lot of guys used to do to try and figure out where the catfish would migrate to during flooded water conditions. So you are doing the same thing that people have been doing for millennia.
Yeah.
So you go out and you're line fishing, and so you've got a flooded river. You and your old man, I hope you don't mind me calling him that, head out, and you set a couple lines. Now, so how long had the lines been set on this particular fish? When did you put them out?
We had put them out Saturday around, I believe it was like 1 p.m. We had set them out on Saturday, and then we went back Sunday around, I think we got there at 2, I think was the time we got there, because I remember pulling him up at, I think it was like 2:15. Like, it was like we had just got there. It was literally the first one we pulled up.
Mm-hmm. So first of all, that's bound to be a way to absolutely set the tone for the whole evening. That's the first fish you pull out of the water.
Yeah.
So tell me how it went down exactly, because everybody's got a story whenever they catch these big fish. So, and I'm sure just like every other angler that's ever caught a big fish in their life, this plays over and over again in your mind.
Yeah. It was insane. I remember we had got there, and we always like to scout before we go, because we like to look up the river, and then we like to look down the river. And sometimes, like, if it's a decent sized fish, you can see the branch, and it's bouncing. So me and Dad always like play a game. We try and guess like how big the fish is on the limb. So, and we were standing on the dock, and we were looking out, and I saw that one moving. I was like, I'm gonna guess that's like a 40-pounder. Dad was like, really? He's not bouncing that tree that hard. I was like, yeah. He said, I'm gonna guess like 20. I was like, okay. But my dad was in the hospital the night before. He had done something to his back. So me and my family friend went out on our little 2-man plastic boat, and we get over to him, and I start pulling up on him. I'm like, okay, this is a good fish. And then all of a sudden, he just rips it through my hands. At first I thought he broke the tree limb because he pulled it so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And he had already cut my hands open. I was like, okay, this is going to be great. So I grab him again. Of course, I forgot the gloves in the truck. But who needs gloves, right? Nobody needs gloves. So
That'll score if you get used to them.
Exactly. So I start pulling up on him, and he is just ripping through my hands. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is a really good fish. Like, you guys need to be prepared. I'm yelling at Jeff. I'm like, Jeff, like that net needs to be ready. And he thinks I'm being dramatic. I'm like, no, I am not being dramatic. And I was like, okay, get ready. So I pull one good time, and I remember it was just his head that came up, and his mouth was just open, and I just froze. I was like, okay, what do we do now? Because that's a bit. I freaked out. I started freaking out. I was yelling. I was screaming. I was yelling at my dad like he could do something on the dock. It was insane. I remember like the adrenaline rush that had hit right there. I started shaking so bad. I have never shaken that bad in my life. But at that moment, it was like I saw him and he saw me. He was not happy.
I say he didn't like that though, did he?
He did not appreciate that. So he started pulling on that line. And about that time, my hand got wrapped up in the line. And the boat tipped sideways. We almost flipped the boat on top of him because my hand got stuck, and he was pulling and I was pulling him. It was just a mess. But I ended up getting him, but he was stuck on like a big branch like underneath. So then I had to also get him untangled from all of the debris that he was around too before I could even get him in the net. So that just made it 10 times harder. This was all in a span of like 5 minutes though. I don't know
Felt
how.
like an eternity.
It felt like so long, but I managed to do it so quick just because like I was so worried about him getting off. Even though I knew he wasn't going to, he was hooked really well, but I was just worried about him getting off because it's a big fish. Like, I'm going to have to go on after this fish if he gets off right in front of me. And that probably wouldn't turn out very well. So
let's pause for a quick second there just so I could help to paint the picture a little bit. So you said that, it cut your hand, right? The line cut your hand. So what kind of line are you using when you're setting these?
We used roughly 100 to 80-pound braid.
Okay, so that will definitely cut your hand.
Yeah. So that did not feel good at all.
And you're brave for because when you said you wrap it, I'm assuming that you were actually wrapping it around your hand. That's a very brave tactic.
Normally, I don't do that, but I forgot what to do in that time. I was like freaking out, and I just forgot what to do. So I just started going, and as I was going, it just like got wrapped up in my hand, and then he decided to take off and took my hand with him.
And so this is almost equivalent, just because of the way that you were explaining how you identified it, the limb shaking. It's almost makes me think of the old show Swamp People, where they talk about tree shaker.
Yup.
So, all right. So you see this fish, you realize it's much bigger than what Jeff, is that what you said his name was? It's much bigger than Jeff was leading on to be.
Yeah.
So you do get him in the net,
Yeah, eventually.
and so what's the process from there? What happens after this?
Well, we ended up getting him in the net, almost slipped the boat, whatever. So then we realized, okay, this fish is not getting in the boat. So we actually ended up just keeping the net off to the side of the boat, and we drove the boat over to the dock and just kept him in the water, and we just kind of drug him in the water with the net until we could get over to the dock, because there was no way that we could get him up into the boat without flipping the boat. So then we ended up getting him to the dock, and we got him up on the dock, and that was when we really saw how big he was. And then that was the moment of, okay, what do we do next? Who do we call? How big is
So
this thing?
at what point did you start to think that it might be a record?
We got a scale, and he bottomed out the scale at 100 pounds. That was when we knew we need to call the game wardens. We need to call somebody who knows what to do with this fish, because this is a record fish.
Now, the sad part about this is, because I already know where this is going to go, because you said this was a Sunday, right?
Yeah.
I guarantee you could not get a game warden out there on Sunday.
We had 3 game wardens out there, but we did not have
Certified scale.
Nowhere had a certified scale. So we ended up keeping him at our house overnight.
I mean, so did you tuck him in at night or something? Where did you put him?
No, so we have a pond at our house, and we have like this big white bait tank sitting off the side of our dock, and drilled holes into it, drilled it into the side of our dock, and we put him in there for the night, and we just went out there like every hour and checked on him until the next morning, until we went and got him weighed.
So, and that speaks on realistically, that speaks to the quality of angler that you are. Limb line or rod and reel, at the end of the day, you were still doing your very best to take care of the fish.
Oh, yeah.
And almost anybody who's typically worth their salt in the industry that has caught a big fish or a state record fish, you'll see them go through these insane means to keep that fish alive. Prime example would have been Jesse Lance, who flat out, in my opinion, I believe, caught the next world record. And he let it go because he had no way to keep it safe.
Yep.
So you keep it in your bait tank overnight. So he has his own little private jacuzzi for the whole night.
Basically.
And then you get a certified scale the next day, right? And you probably found a feed store or something like that had one.
Yep, it was our local feed store.
A lot of places. So if you're not from a rural area, you probably look at us like we're crazy. Feed stores are actually pretty common in my home state. I'm sure they're common in Ohio. You can find them pretty much any small town is going to have some type of feed store or feed store. And what they're looking for is a certified scale. The DNR actually, for the state of West Virginia, provides lists of where you can find certified scales if you find yourself in this type of a situation. And most of the time, if it's during the week at least, DNR will come out to you and they will bring a travel tank to where they can put the fish in safely. We can weigh it and then you can set it free. So, but that's really cool though that you actually took the time to take care of the fish, because I haven't seen anyone do it yet, and I pray I never do. Fortunately, I haven't seen any state record fish that actually end up dying within the last few years. So that's been pretty fortunate.
Yeah.
So we got the state record program. You officially got, the letter more or less from the DNR. They hand it over, say, here, you're in the record books. And this is where the drama really starts at this point, right?
The drama.
So tell me, was your first engagements with anybody, was it positive, was it negative or neutral, or how was it?
I mean, I had so many positive messages. Don't get me wrong. I had so many positive messages, but every positive message came with the negative one. But
Or 5.
or 5. But honestly, it doesn't bother me. If people want to think that out about a 15-year-old girl, people can think that about a 15-year-old girl. That just shows who they are as a person. And it doesn't bother me. I know the truth. My family knows the truth. Our friends know the truth. And if you really look at it, you'll know the truth. But the people who don't want to look at it the way that they want to. Oh, it wasn't fishing. It wasn't legal. I don't deserve it. That's fine. That's your opinion. But that's just not how that works.
Well, and so let's think about this for a minute too. So first of all, yeah, you have to ask yourself the question: the people that are providing these hateful comments, if you, not saying you, but them, was in that situation, would they turn it in?
Oh, 100%.
I would put money on it that they would.
Yep.
Additionally, you can say what you want to say. It's legal in your state. You caught it by legal means. More importantly, we'll look at limb lining. How is it any different from a state that you can be allowed to bait whitetail or something like that? How is that any different?
Yep.
If someone kills a Boone and Crockett or a Pope and Young when they were shooting over corn, it's still a record.
Yep.
Prime example is probably like the 2 that are sitting behind you. Those don't look very small.
They're not very small.
Yeah, and if you tell me you killed both of those, then I'm officially ending this podcast. So she surpassed me in too many categories.
No, that was my dad.
All right, there we go. So now here's the thing too, when we talk about because here, in case anyone that's listening isn't aware, so like we mentioned before, she caught this on a limb line, which is where they tie a line to the tree. And so naturally at the time, there was no such thing as anything other than the Ohio state record for this fish. So she had won the Ohio state record. Now, the problem came is because you had a bunch of people that got really upset that this 15-year-old girl, I'm going to stress that again, a 15-year-old girl, a kid, won a state record, and they started to bash her for it. But here's the thing I thought this was really cool. Because to some degree, could I understand anglers with rod and reel being upset? Maybe to a little bit. But you're a kid. Yeah. You're a kid that did something awesome. And so I kind of feel bad for people that got really salty about it. But Ohio did something really cool. And this is the only state I've ever heard of nor seen do this. They added an additional category for the state record program just because of Jaylnn catching this fish on a limb line. She's not only a state record holder, she's the first state record holder for the limb line. And now, do they call it limb line or do they call it something else?
It's limb line, jug line, trout line category, and then there's the rod and reel category. I hold the record for the limb line, trout line, jug line category.
But that's the thing, though. They created a whole new category just because of this. So kind of just like the title of this video says, Jaylnn, a 15-year-old girl at the time, literally changed the entire state record game for the state of Ohio. Yeah. One fish changed the game. So, and the other part too, and this is the part that I get on to people about too. So obviously, things have simmered down. How many years ago has it been now?
This will be the second year. Yeah, second year.
So second year, and obviously the hate has calmed down and stuff like that. And here's the thing too, if you are still out there and you are hating on this one, her record does not affect yours. Why are you taking time out of your day to invest so much time in hers? If it's not for praise and positive, then there's no place for it. Now, so did you get a plaque or do you have a replica or anything like that?
So I have a plaque that is in my fishing building, and me and my dad are going to pick up my replica this weekend, actually. So
is that going to be at Twisted Cats Fishing Expo?
Yes, it will. And we will be there.
I'll say, so if you're going to be at the Twisted Cat Expo, you actually get the opportunity to meet Jaylnn and her family. And one thing I'd like to stress out too, because we skipped over it and that's my fault, so I'll apologize. This fish was safely released back to the same body of water that it came from.
Yep.
They didn't keep it in their pond. They didn't keep it in its own little jacuzzi overnight. And they didn't just turn it loose wherever they could. And I did a little bit of research on you before I brought you onto the podcast because I found the video. There's a video of them releasing the fish exactly where it came from. The fish survived. It's out there still. Somebody could catch it tomorrow. It might weigh 1 pound more. And guess what? Now we got another state record.
Yep.
And so another thing too, what was the official state record before you caught this fish?
It was 96 pounds.
How long did that record stand?
Like 15 years, I think. It was something like crazy.
15 years. That is wild. And so you sit back and think about that for a minute. One, you probably got some guys, obviously, if you're like me, you always believe that there is another record out there.
Oh,
but
yeah.
if that record has stood for 15 years and everyone's like, well, maybe that is it. And then here comes 15-year-old Jaylnn and she hooks it on a tree. I'm like, no, there's bigger ones than this more than likely too.
Sure.
She just found a different way of catching it, man. And like I said, I think it's awesome. And I think the fact that you got a state record before you were even an adult, that's insane.
Yeah.
I haven't done any research on it, but I'm curious if there were any other state records that were caught, we'll say within my lifetime, that were of children catching them. That's something I need to look into. I don't know if there is or not. I doubt it.
I'm not sure. I don't think I've seen anything on it.
All right. So now let's get down to some additional things about this really quick. So obviously you catch a state record fish.
Yep.
Any angler knows that, once you catch a state record, once you win a bunch of tournaments or you do something to whereas you build your reputation, you become known for something. So you get this fish, it gets all over social media. I've seen your local news stations did interviews on it, a couple other interviews. Dieter Melhorn did an interview with you. So you go through all of this. Do you get anybody reaching out for sponsorships or affiliate programs or anything like that?
No, no big name brands, whatever. Obviously, Seth from TikTok, 304 D&D Baits, he has been by my side since day one. I mean, he found me from 3 days after I caught my fish. He was standing up to the haters for me because we could not stand up to the haters. And he reached out to us and he was like, I just want to let you guys know, we are saying something back. And then we started joining their live, and then they've been a part of our family ever since. Seth is my second family. He will do anything for me and I would do anything for him. So he is my biggest sponsor. He's my biggest shout out that I have because he's been there for me literally since day one, since I caught that fish.
Well, so now let me follow up with this because I like Seth to death, man. He's a very good friend of mine. And so I know Seth, for certain members of his pro staff, each one got their own signature rod.
Yes.
So did you?
I sure did. I have a purple and yellow pole coming out, and it will be out by the end of February, I believe. So it's coming soon.
Well, that'll be awesome. It might even make it in time for Seth's expo.
I think it was supposed to, but I think production got pushed back a little bit. So I don't think they're going to be able to make it to the expo, which is sad, but it's okay.
It's okay, Seth. We'll forgive you. So before we continue, let me scroll through the comments because we got a bunch of comments coming in. I want to make sure we're not missing any questions. Guys, if you are watching live, that's what the comment section is for. Say hi. If you got a question for myself or Miss Jaylnn, now's the time to ask. So I'm going to scroll through here. Wow, we have got a ton of comments. We've just been too busy talking, Jaylnn.
I know.
Let's see here. Everybody's saying hi, saying congratulations. Christy Brown loves your rustic wall, apparently. Let's see. What size hook was you using, Jaylnn? That's a question.
It was a 10-aught, I believe. Yeah. That's like our normal hook.
Yeah. So do you know who made the hook by chance, or just too many to remember?
Catfish Sumo, I believe.
Okay, so catfish sumo. Pontoon Jody has some points she'd like to talk about with someone who's affiliated with them. We won't say who. Let's see here. I heard this is let's keep scrolling here.
There's so many
Got
comments.
a pond on the property next door. That's my backup plan in the same situation. So essentially, Creole catfishing says if he catches a state record, he is fully prepared to put that fish in his own jacuzzi or put it in his pond to keep it alive. Let's see here. Jaylnn. Okay, so I'm hesitant to read that one, but you know what? Whatever. I think Jaylnn just saw it. So it says, "Hi, Jaylnn. You're so pretty, and Curse, you are so darn cute. Both of you are amazing anglers and great stories to tell." Well, you know what, Sharon? Flattery will get you everywhere. Okay. All right. Let's keep on scrolling here. Let's see. Caught by legal means, kept alive, recorded properly, released alive. No issue here. Carry on, young lady. Absolutely. I'd also like to point out something else, too. The actual, at the time, the existing state record holder, I saw this today, got on Dieter's podcast interviewing her and commented. It's one of the very top comments you see that he was the current state record holder and he wished her nothing but the best. And this was before they did the whole create a new program for it. He was A-okay with Jaylnn doing it because here's the thing. Again, 15-year-old kid catches a state record program. There are way worse things kids can be out doing. And she's out having fun, doing fishing, being outdoors. Man, respectfully, shut up.
Right?
So let's keep scrolling here. Mississippi has 2 separate records. State record is a rod and reel. Trophy record is everything else using a hook. Yep. Let's see. Everybody's saying that they love you, Jaylnn. If you hating, she has a lot of aunts and uncles. Go to the bar for her. I heard that.
True. That is true.
Let's see here. Let's keep scrolling. So actually, my brother is in the chat, and he said, "I'm trying to hear the story about the bucks in the background. Those are studs." Well, maybe Bubby will bring her dad on. He can tell the story about the bucks. But
Yep.
Southern Ohio.
All right, let's. What did he say? I heard him say something.
He said Southern Ohio.
Now, I used to hunt Ohio, so then I lost permission to hunt the farm. Let me see. Let's keep scrolling. We have a ton of comments
in here.
So Taylor, who I'm assuming
that's my brother.
I'll say brother. I was going to say it could go either way. It's like my name, Jesse. It could go either way. Love seeing my little sister get this opportunity. Thanks for doing this with her. Here's the thing, man. If anybody knows anything about me, I am all about, one, promoting our industry in a positive light, but two, promoting the people in our industry. Jaylynn's got a really cool story, man. Again, I've never heard of a state record program on the spot, just saying, okay, you know what? Here, we're going to create a whole new category because of this situation. That's amazing. In fact, if you try to pull that here in West Virginia, I would say you're going to just catch a bunch of flack and everyone's going to tell you, shut up. Now, let's see, his newest D&D pro staff, I have your back. Well, that's the biggest thing. So Jaylnn is backed by a large portion of the industry.
Oh, yeah.
If you are a hater, well, guess what, Jaylnn? So you want to get into content creation, keep this in mind. Your haters are your biggest fans.
Yup.
Because here's my famous favorite quote of all time. If you don't like what I'm doing, but you still sit back and watch me and watch everything I'm doing, you're still a fan.
Exactly.
So now, so we're pro staff with D&D, so Seth, and that's your second family. You got your own signature rod. You got a replica of a sweet fish. Where are you going to put it? Because the walls already took up with bucks. So
it's going outside in my fishing building that they have built for me because Seth sent me so much stuff. I didn't know what to do with all of it, so I had to build an entire building for it. So it has a sweet spot waiting for it out there.
So now pause just a second. Are you telling me that your old man built you a whole dedicated fishing building?
Yeah, he did.
Is he interested in adopting a 32-year-old as his son, or is that a thing?
He might be.
Listen, I can pay. But no, so think about this for a second, y'all. And this is what's really cool about this. So now, Jaylnn, how old are you now? Like probably 17?
Yep, I'm 17. I turn 18 in June.
Okay, so we got the same birthday month, so they got that going for you.
Okay.
That also means she's a Gemini, so be careful. But
That is true.
here's the thing. At 15 years old, this girl caught a state record. Now she has her own dedicated fishing building, which I'm very upset over because I had to build my own. I was in my late 20s when I did that. But the thing is, she's doing stuff outside, man. She's outside enjoying the outdoors, and she is trying to spread the love of the sport. At least this is what I gather. Because I don't know how many or where you are on social media. I don't know any of that. We'll give you a chance to plug that here in a little bit. But think about most other kids her age, man. They're sitting in front of a TV or sitting in front of a phone playing games and just wasting their youth away. And coming from somebody who feels like they're 60, that is not something that you want. Luckily, I grew up in rural West Virginia. I spent a lot of time outside, and to see the next generation of anglers doing the same thing is just really cool. And it really helps to, warm my heart and have hope for the next generation. Now, the only thing I'm going to ask, and I can't help it just because of your age, Jaylnn, please tell me the meaning of 6'7".
I have no idea. I have no idea, but somehow it's stuck in my brain all the time.
That's just don't do the thing. Don't do the thing. Now, so got your own dedicated fishing building. You already said you got a pond.
Yeah.
So you can go fish anytime you want. Again, very jealous of all this to some degree. So now, what is the next step for you? What's your next goal? What do you plan to do? Because obviously you're on TikTok to some degree. I think you are. I know your mom and dad are.
Yeah, I am.
So are you trying to start content creation? Is that something you're looking to do? Or
yeah, it is. It's going to take time, and it's going to take a lot of time. I'm still in school, so it's also just balancing school and getting ready to graduate and all of this fun stuff. And then also outside of school, I'm fishing, filming, doing all these crazy things outside of my family. And then I'm going to start uploading videos and editing. It's just a lot of work that's going to have to go into it, tedious work, and getting myself out there. I know it's going to take time, but you know what? I'm willing to do the time because
so you got one thing working for you. Everything you just mentioned, right? How chaotic and difficult it is because of school and family. I got news. That doesn't get easier. It just gets replaced by work and everything else. And so the other cool part about this too is by you getting a head start when you're younger. If I knew when I was younger what I know now about creating content, I'd probably be a much more successful content creator. That's just the reality behind it.
Mm-hmm.
It will take time, but here's the thing: nothing in life worth having ever came easy. So it's all about what you put into it. That's what you're going to get out of it.
Yep.
So you got your TikTok. Do you have YouTube? Do you have the Instagram, the Facebooks? What are your socials? Let's go ahead and plug them so anybody watching can actually tune in.
On all of my socials, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, my new YouTube channel we just made like 3 days ago is all Parker Outdoors Adventures. It's all Parker's Outdoor Adventures. I think my Instagram is Parker Outdoors Adventures like 513, but then my TikTok, my Facebook, and YouTube are all Parker Outdoors Adventures. We post every crazy thing that we do. So especially in the summer times, it's go, go, go. So we have a lot of videos we post in the summertime. Wintertime obviously gets a little slow. But this summer, we're going to have some good content. I already know it.
I'm glad to hear it. So you're going to Twisted Cat. Are you going to Seth's Expo as well?
Yep, I will be
No,
there.
but you'll be surrounded by good people here. So
Yep.
let me browse comments again really quick before we try any closing remarks. Like I said, guys, if you got a question for Miss Jaylnn right now is the time to ask because we are live and everything is wide open. Let's see. Oh, Pontoon Jody says to show your tattoo.
Oh, well, it's kind of hard to see it, but
Let's see. You got a hook, and I can't see what's in it, but
it says 101.11. Let me see if I can.
oh, look at that. Now, here's the problem though. If she catches another one, she's gonna have to tattoo an X over that one and then go up.
Just cross this one out.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What else we got? Shows tattoo. That's amazing. The way you look at it. That's the biggest thing, man. That's the only way to look at it. Let's see. Lady Anglers of Ohio, you go, girl, says Pontoon Jody. And here she was calling me a rookie a little bit ago, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
Right.
Let's see. Chrissy Brown, haters will watch you closer than your regular subs will. 110% they will.
That
Like I said,
is-
they are your biggest fans.
That is very true. Yes,
Jaylnn got a fishing she shed.
I do have a fishing she shed.
Me and your dad's gonna talk later, so like, hey, listen, you can either adopt me or you can just pay me to stop asking you to. But it's gonna cost you exactly the same amount that you put into that shed. All right, let's see. No one knows the meaning of the 6'7". No one does, dude.
Nobody knows. I truly don't think there is a meaning behind it. I think if you look it up, it literally says there's no meaning behind it. It's just.
I really want to try to like your generation, Jaylnn. You're making it really hard right now. I'm just playing.
How do you think I feel? I'm stuck with the generation.
Well, you keep doing what you're doing, and don't worry, no one will associate you with it. So let's see. Strung out on drugs, vandalizing. Much rather see kids out fishing or hunting. Absolutely, Seth. Let's see here. Come on, Jess. Build some rapport with her dad. We need permission to hunt the land in Ohio during bow season. He's got a point. We could go that route too. Let's see, Jody. She has amazing content. Well, there you go, Jaylnn. You're already getting support on a YouTube channel that just started. She'll have her replica. So you plan on bringing your replica to Seth's Expo too?
Yes, we're hauling it. We're hauling it down there. We're gonna display it. So it'll be there.
Sharon, I appreciate you asking for the support. It's nothing but love here. Appreciate y'all. Pontoon Jody doubled down, said I call him like I see him, rookie. 6'7" means 6'7". All right, listen, we're done with 6'7". All right, we're not doing this anymore.
Sam said that.
Yep, and then we got Candy. So she already showed the tattoo. So now, Jaylnn, my last question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you see it now or not, you are an inspiration to other anglers, specifically young anglers and specifically female anglers. And that is something to be proud of. Do you have any words of inspiration for anglers as a whole or the next generation that will come after you?
Honestly, girls can do it if better than guys, obviously. Listen, my dad, I've beat him.
You've been hanging around Jody way too much.
I've beat my dad plenty of times. I've beat a lot of guys plenty of times. So maybe women can do it better. They just don't have the chance to.
Good Lord. Okay, so different.
No, I say, honestly, if you want to do it, go do it. What's stopping you? There's nothing stopping you. I mean, just go throw a pole out in the water. Go throw it in a mud hole. You might not catch anything, but, I mean, you can try. That's all you can do. There's no full strategy to fishing. It's all luck. You got to try. If you don't try, it's not going to work.
So I will double down with that and say something that I have said for a very long time. And no, it's not you can't catch them on the couch. And in fact, if you ever check out my YouTube channel at the very top, it says it. You miss every shot you don't take.
Yep.
So let's see here. Pontoon Jody, she missed the name of your YouTube channel. So go ahead and drop that for her again.
It's Parker Outdoors Adventures, same as TikTok.
Yep. And let's see, serious question for both. When you pull up to a new stretch of river, what are the first things you look for? So, Jaylnn, I'll let you answer first. If you were going to fish a brand new body of water you've never fished before, what's the first thing you're trying to find? And more importantly, let's go a step farther. How are you targeting what species?
I always look for structure. They like hiding.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, personally, I wouldn't want to be out in the open where all these big fish are. I like hiding. I like being by myself. I like finding structure. So I find that as like a fish would want to find structure too. But structure, like, how do I explain it? I guess where there's not a lot of current. That's what I'm trying to get out. Where there's not a lot of current. They don't like being beat up. They don't like being tossed around. They're going to want to stay in one spot where there's not a lot of current. And then deep water, sometimes. It really just depends on where you're at. Sometimes they like deep water. Sometimes they're not in super deep water.
Yep.
It all just depends.
It depends on where you are, the weather conditions, the water type you're fishing. Is it a lake? Is it a creek? Is it a river?
Yep.
And to double down with her, so the number one that she hit on the head is, structure. Especially if you're looking for flatheads, you got to find structure.
Yeah.
When it comes to blues, now this is where, at least in the canal, so blues here love current, right? Mm-hmm. So if you have current, you're going to do a little bit better. Mm-hmm. But another thing that she mentioned, and what the word she's looking for a current break. Mm-hmm. She's looking for where something is slowing it down. And if you look, those big wide bends you see in the rivers don't stay uniform. That's a current break. That's what she's looking for.
That's what I was trying to, I couldn't think of the word.
Well, I mean, you had the break thing down. So
with my hands, that counts.
Let's see here. What else we got? Us ladies know how to fish. I'm very well aware, Benoit. I am very well aware. Let's see. I'm not going to read that one. Ask her about other big fish that isn't the only one. Oh, okay, so apparently Seth just wants you to ridicule me on my own podcast. So by all means, just go ahead. I'm just playing. So you got the record. Let's now that's a limb line record. Let's talk about rod and reel records for you, PBs. What's your biggest?
My biggest on a rod and reel is 66.
Was that out of a river, lake, creek? What?
Out of the river.
So I'm assuming the Ohio, right?
Yes.
Okay, and I know for a fact there are very big fish in the Ohio. I personally was fishing the G3 tournament where we took first place and saw what we thought was going to be the next West Virginia state record in length. Wow. So we were a centimeter off.
Oh.
Yeah. I begged that game warden. And here's the thing, too. It wasn't even my fish. It was my partner's fish. And I told him, I said, man, can't you just a little bit, just a little bit.
Just a little.
I don't want to hurt the fish, but come on now. Let's see here. Can't beat a good channel ledge. Absolutely not. Let's see. Hey, I'm on the couch because our rivers are frozen. Yep. But at least I get to watch Cursed and hold on a second. My dyslexia kicked in. YouTube channel to Tommy. Okay. We're going to say Carp likes it. All right, let's see here. Let's keep scrolling. Just subscribe. Okay, so your biggest on rod and reel again. So you said that your biggest was 60-some pounds. That's a blue cat, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
What's your biggest flathead?
It's like 40 pounds.
That's okay. Mine's only 35. So
that's if if any record that is gonna get beat by me again, it will be a flathead.
Okay.
That's
So-
the next one.
What's your preferred bait of choice? Like, give me your bait tier list 1 through 5.
1 through 5. Okay.
Mhm.
We have hand-sized bluegill, live bluegill, and then we have skipjack, the whole thing, and then we have a skipjack head, but not like a small skipjack head. We have like a big skipjack head, and then we have shad, and then we have I don't know, probably chicken liver.
Well, at least you didn't say chicken. So,
Like
so now,
chicken. That's something that we use too.
so now let me ask this then. So when it comes to, again, we're going to talk rod and reel fishing here. When it comes to fishing with your rod and reel, what kind of rig do you typically like to run? Do you Santee Cooper, Carolina rig, or do you just kind of throw out whatever you think's going to work that day?
Santee. That's normally what I think that's what we have rigged up on with like all of them.
Mm-hmm. So big Santee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what size float are you using? A little 3-inch cigar float, or using a big football float? Demon Dragon, spook floats.
I think it's a football. I'm trying to think of what we have out there. I haven't been out there. It's so cold.
Football or none?
Yeah.
But now, hold on a minute. Is your personal pond froze over?
Yeah, actually it is.
Nah. Well, you know what? This is a perfect time to start ice fishing.
I'm not going out there. It is too cold. It is too cold to ice fish. I don't do the cold.
That's the literal definition of ice fishing. I'm just giving you a hard time. Let's see. What other questions we got here? What is something that you used to believe that you know now is wrong? That's a very loaded question, little brother, and that could apply to life. That's not just fishing. So if you're still watching, elaborate on what you mean. Try to give us an example, because, I mean, that could go all kinds of different ways. I mean, probably my biggest thing was, and not Jaylnn, you may not have an opinion on this or not.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest thing whenever I was younger, actually when I was Jaylen's age, was the whole pay lake thing. I didn't know anything about it. I ain't ashamed to admit it. I used to fish them. But now I know how a lot of them get their fish. I'm not so crazy about it.
Yep. Right there with you.
All right, let's see. What else we got? What do you prefer, night or day fishing? Go ahead, Jaylnn.
Oh, I love right when it starts getting nighttime, right? Where like the break of dusk. When that's, for some reason, we always have the best luck at the break of dusk. I love fishing right when the sun goes down. It's like, boom. It's literally like someone flipped a switch.
It's twilight hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Now, see, I'm kind of the opposite. I like night fishing overall, but if I had to pick between the twilight hours, in my opinion, the early morning is always done better for me than right at the evening.
Mm-hmm.
And that's primarily because, at least in my spots, they get hammered religiously. So no one wants to get up at the butt crack of dawn and go fishing, but everybody will go fishing in the evening.
I love night fishing. I don't know. I just like, there's something different between like waking up early in the morning and going early morning fishing because I'm still tired. It's too early. But then at nighttime, I'm ready to go. Like, I'm running around, I'm pushing dad out of the way, like fire's
and then
going.
you're just sleeping the whole next day away.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know. I always feel I like the dusk nighttime fishing better rather than early morning fishing.
So what about because I've seen some of the videos of you fishing out of your kayak. Have you caught any big ones out of a yak yet?
I think the biggest I've caught out of the yak was like 20, 25 out of the yak. That was a flathead, if I remember that. Yeah.
I bet it pulled you plumb sideways too.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
So okay, let's do a couple more that are coming into my head. Sorry if we're extending past any time frame you got.
Nope.
I know you were in the middle of something beforehand. Oh, did you get them all done? I didn't pay attention.
Oh, I got one hand halfway done. The other hand's not done at all.
It's okay. We didn't know until you pointed it out.
Oh.
So, what about tournament angling? Do you and your dad do any kind of fishing tournaments?
Yeah, we do Seth's tournaments. We are in every single one of Seth's tournaments. And then towards the end of last year, we got into the River Rats tournaments on the Ohio River. We got into 2 or 3 of those. We did horrible, but that's besides the point.
You just throw your old man under the bus like that?
Well, listen, when you're competing with all these guys with these super, super nice, fast, go fishing boats, and then we're on a pontoon boat trying to
now
outrun
listen,
them.
you got to be careful. Pontoon Jody is watching you right now. You can't
Don't-
be bashing pontoon boats now.
Don't come at me, Pontoon Jody, but we almost died. We run and gun almost killed us. He took off and he hit somebody else's their waves, and he jumped up over them and went down and then made waves, and here we are in a pontoon going like this. Yeah, I was touching the water on the side of the boat.
You know what? I know Charlie and Julie pretty well, and I have full intentions of having them on here at some point.
Yeah.
And you better bet I'm going to remember that, and I'm going to ask Charlie about it. It's like, do you remember cutting Jaylnn off in the tournament?
I have a video I videoed like the beginning of the race, and I have him in the video where he's jumping over, like he's jumping the wave. I sent it to Julie, I believe.
So was he in his new boat or was he still in the Sportsman?
Oh, I have no idea.
Well, his new boat's solid black. His old one was gray.
I think it was the old one.
Well, let that sink in for a minute, guys. If you're fishing against Charlie and Julie and they were doing that in the G3, now they have a deep V that's the size of a yacht that can cut wakes way easier. So God have mercy on any of us that are fishing against them.
Yeah, stay out of the way.
Let's see. I had the privilege of being Jay's partner in one of Seth's tournaments. That comes from Jim Galvin.
Yes. I can't remember. Was that a good tournament or not? Did we do good or not? I don't remember. That was last summer.
So have you won any of Seth's tournaments then?
I've won a few of Seth's tournaments.
Nonchalantly, I've won a few.
I've won a few. I've won. How many tournaments would you say, Dad?
6, 7.
6, 7.
Oh, come on, dude! No, don't. No, Dad, I expected so much better of you.
On purpose.
I expected so much better of you.
I expected more out of myself.
All right. So looks like we don't have any other questions that I've missed. We do have a comment that I want to read from Taylor. So that's your brother.
Yeah.
And he says, the fishing communities of the Ohio River are amazing. Working as an aquatic biologist. I can't say that word. I'm sorry.
Meldal.
What is it?
Meldal.
Meldal?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I can't say nothing because most people can't say canal. They say kanawaha. But working as an aquatic biologist in Meldal and Markland, pools have some of the best biodiversity. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So your brother is actually an aquatic biologist then.
Yep. He works with fish too.
Does he work for the DNR?
No, he works for a nonprofit called Orsanko. They're just like a little nonprofit off the Ohio River, and they electrofish, and they do water quality measurements.
Management.
Okay.
Not measurement, management.
Well, that's a pretty cool rig there.
Yeah.
They do from Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell you what, guys. So me and Jaylnn have been talking for roughly about an hour, and I have thoroughly enjoyed this podcast, and I'm so thankful for Jaylnn taking the time to come and hang out with me and hang out with all y'all and tell her story, and just to explain how, while some people, you may have been a hater or whatever in the beginning, whatever, the biggest thing is understanding how she has changed the game for future anglers years after she set this record. And God have mercy if she breaks it again.
Oh, I think that'll break the internet.
Yep. And then we got a couple last comments coming in. Great podcast. Appreciate Seth. Very proud of this young female angler. I look forward to watching her grow in life and her adventures fishing. That's from Pontoon Jody. I'm very proud of her as well.
Jody.
And Chrissy, thank you for saying canal, because it is canal. So, but guys, I've enjoyed this. Jaylnn, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've had fun here.
I did.
And you can clearly see you have the support of quite a few people at your back. But thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks all y'all for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and close this one out. But this has been On the Line with Curse Bank Catfishing. Stay bench, y'all, and we'll see you on the next one.